Hi crafters, happy holidays! Yay! I am very excited, and you can of course imagine that the craft supplies are flying. My apartment is generally in a state of mess, like piles of gifts in progress everywhere, and my favorite time of year, what can I say? And of course, holidays, they're a good time to, bust out some new or, old favorite fashion inspo, maybe from your closet, maybe shopping out there, maybe thrifting. I've definitely been doing all of that. I have been rediscovering some of my favorite sweaters for this time of year, and yeah, I'm kind of wearing one right now. Most of my sweaters have been thrifted. I collect them over time, and especially if they're vintage pieces, I try to bring them out every year, try to, take good care of them, and I love wearing them. I mean, some of them are so unique, super fun. Some of them are just really festive for this time of year. It's perfect. What's not to love about something that's cozy and maybe fun colors or comfy textures or whatever? I mean, that's what we need right now. Bust out the sweaters, man. I'm gonna walk you through a few of my favorites and some things that I've found thrifting in the past, and then just some ideas of things I've been playing with, a few outfits I've been putting together in anticipation for the holidays. Want to show you what I'm gonna be using from my closet. Maybe it'll give you guys some ideas. I don't know what you might want to look for out there in the thrift world. Come along with me on this retro thrifted sweater adventure. I'll show you some of my favorites and how I plan to keep cozy this holiday season. Come on. Oh man, thrift store sweaters for the win, you guys. This is one of my favorite thrifted sweater finds. I purchased it a number of years ago at a thrift store, and I think it cost me about $5 or $6, honestly. But it is a Polo Ralph Lauren iconic bear sweater, and this, this bear icon shows up periodically for this brand, and I've noticed that some of the vintage sweaters, especially the cotton sweaters like this one or the wool styles, can be a couple $100s if you find them on Etsy or eBay. Periodically, they're kind of a collector's thing, apparently. So this is kind of fun. It was definitely fun to find it secondhand at a price I could afford. I appreciate that. And it's perfect for the holidays. Teddy bears for the win. You can tell it's kind of a boxy, kind of chunky sweater. I believe it's a men's small. So it fits really nicely with kind of the oversized sweater thing we got going on this season. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of layering with it, but not too much because I don't want to make it too much chunkier than it needs to be. All right, let's add a few layers. Next. Well, my weather's been a little weird, so it's kind of yo-yoed between very cold and not cold at all. So if it was very cold today, I would be wearing probably more of a flannel shirt under this sweater, but instead I'm going for this kind of stripy sleeveless number, which I think will coordinate very well with the stripy flag on the bear sweater. Yes. This shirt was actually a project from long ago on the blog. I was gifted this shirt. It was a long sleeve women's shirt. It was a little too big for me, so I took it in on the sides and ended up removing the sleeves as well. And now I have a stripy shirt. I guess I can't go too wrong with red and white, so I always should have that in my wardrobe. And then these jeans over here, these guys are kind of a stretchy, kind of slim leg jeans. They're by a brand called Wit and Wisdom, and I actually thrifted them. Very glad to have found them because they have a stretchy waistband, which is now my favorite thing ever. So now I stalk Nordstrom Rack online trying to find them on sale because now I love them. I think this is going to be pretty perfect, but I do have some kind of perfect jewelry to put with it. Let's see if we can focus a little. These guys were an estate sale purchase a long time ago. And anytime I get to check out secondhand jewelry, thrift stores, garage sale, whatever, I always do, because you never know what you're going to find. You always find something fun. And if you don't end up wearing it, you can always donate it back, and it's okay. These guys are some of my favorite holiday earrings, but they kind of go perfectly with this red and white stripy thing we got going on. So I think they're going to be perfect. It's going to be a little kitschy, a little crazy, but I'm loving it. I'll have to show you what this looks like in a moment. Well, guys, this is one of those sweaters I've had for years, and I love it, and I always love it, and I will always love it. It's probably from the 70s or maybe early 80s is my guess. It's vintage REI, and it's cotton, so it's super comfy to wear. Doesn't get super cold where I live, so can't wear those super heavy sweaters very often. I love the color. It's kind of got this boxy cropped fit, and of course it's got that stretchy waistband, so it kind of does that kind of poofy, kind of mushroomy thing, which it's a little odd, but you know what? It's a red vintage sweater, so I love it, and I will always love it. How am I going to be wearing this one? Well, let's go next. Oh man, I'm so excited to bust out this flannel skirt. Oh my gosh. You guys might remember this. I made this skirt last year in, I think it was January or February. And I had all these flannel remnants and I tried to figure out what to do with them and ended up putting them in this crazy patchwork skirt, which I love. And I think it's super perfect for the holidays. So I'm glad to be bringing it out. I will totally link to that project because it was pretty beginner friendly. Like, it definitely took time, but the sewing methods were pretty straightforward, and it was a lot of fun. Very rewarding project for sure. So I think this is going to be very fun to wear with my crazy bright sweater. This is going to be like uber festive. So I think I'm going to keep my accessories kind of basic. I'm going to bring these guys in. These are a project. They're basically a wooden bead and a metallic bead and then a little tiny seed bead on a jewelry pin with earring backings. And it's been super surprising how often I wear these. I wear these actually quite a lot. Anything that has like wooden detailing, like the wooden buttons, I think these will be perfect. Probably bust out some boots and some tights as well, but this is going to be a real fun one to wear. This sweater is such a good reminder to always check the guys section at the thrift store. I'm loving guys sweaters these days because they're oftentimes kind of oversized, and sometimes you can get ones that are long enough that you can easily wear with leggings and layer underneath for a really cozy kind of casual vibe. This one is by a brand called GH Bass. I'm wondering if that's also part of the just Bass brand. I don't know. I don't believe it is vintage, but it is cotton. And I love that with this rib knit, it is an oversized sweater, but it's not super poofy. I'm a relatively short and curvy human, so if I have a really chunky, really wide sweater, it can make me kind of swamp me. But if I have something that is ribbed, it can oftentimes hang a little bit slimmer towards the body. And this one is also long enough that I can wear it with leggings really easily, but it's not so tight that I, can't layer under it. So it's a really versatile piece. I like the brown, and I mean, it's not a particularly exciting looking sweater, but I end up reaching for it a lot. Let's see how I'm planning on wearing it next. Yeah, we're gonna take this guy super cozy. I got my fleece-lined yoga pants. I got a long-sleeve t-shirt to go under. I got a hat and a scarf. Yeah, I'm gonna layer this guy up, make him warm and cozy. Just a note, this scarf is one of my favorites, and it was a project. It's just a long piece of flannel, and I hemmed the edges, the long edges, but then, the ends, I kind of unfrayed, kind of unraveled the fabric a little bit to make that kind of fringy bit. I did do a little line of stitching across the top so that it wouldn't unravel forever, but I love this scarf. I wear it constantly, so that's just a fun project idea. I think this outfit's going to be going outside, so I may end up layering on a coat as well, maybe even a thrifted one. We'll see. And I'm hoping it's going to be nice and cozy for wherever I decide to go. We can't have a holiday thrifted sweater video and not address the ugly sweater. What? Particularly the ugly sweaters that I just pulled out of my overstuffed storage bin. Ahem. I love these things. I love them. I loved them when I was a kid and I saw, people wearing the really flamboyant sweaters. Back then they weren't ugly, they were just normal. So I thought they were pretty cool. But I am grateful for the ugly sweater trend because it does allow these to be wearable in public with a great deal of irony, probably too much irony for, from my perspective, but at least people are wearing them and I love them. They're so fun and ridiculous all at the same time, which is amazing. Of course, these guys are vintage, and there are a few things I look for when I'm keeping my eyes peeled for these. I look for ones, of course, that are in pretty good shape or that can be easily mended. Many of these have, beading and ribbons and buttons and things, and they're kind of fragile. So it's nice when you find one that's been taken good care of so you don't have to do a lot of fixing work on it. I also look for ones that are different lengths. I love, well, let's see, like this one, way over to the side. That one's almost a tunic length, and it's not too wide, which is unique. Some of these, you find them in very boxy shapes, but that one's kind of long and kind of narrow-ish, so it works really great with leggings, as does this longer vest over here. So leggings and like comfy clothes are basically all I want to wear all December. So that style fits my lifestyle very nicely. Some of these guys are this like cardigan over here is a little chunkier. It's not quite as long, but I'll wear like a longer top underneath, like a black top, and then some leggings, and then that works pretty nicely for those guys. I do love the vests. Now, I am not normally a vest person per se. I like vintage ones, but I don't know. For me, they're a little harder to wear. They seem a little odd, but they're great because they're not as warm as some of these full-on sweaters. And it does not get that cold where I live, and I'm pretty active during the day in my job. I work with kids, so I can't be wearing giant sweaters all day because I'm going to roast. So I will totally bust out the vests. I could put one with a longer top and leggings, or, this guy's pretty great with jeans and, whatever top underneath. It's pretty great. So I do love me a vest. Branch out. Check out the vests. No shame in investing. Okay, sorry. Our last one in the back, I'm pretty sure this one's from the 70s with the reindeer. He's pretty great. He's fun because he's kind of more of a cropped, boxy shape, and I like putting him with like some kind of wider leg, vintage wash jeans, for that really retro look. So these are a couple of my favorites. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to be styling for you guys today. I got to make up my mind. I'm still working on it, but I will be wearing these all month, shamelessly. And I think you should too. Vintage sweaters, ugly sweaters, for the win. Well, you can't have holiday outfits without busting out some holiday bling. And some of my favorites are either thrifted, vintage, or handmade. I mean, yeah, anytime I find little vintage like clip-ons and holiday pins, I love those. Those just give you an instant vintage glam vibe. I love it. A couple of these guys I think were, estate sale. Thrifted those. I love those. Now the rest of these guys are, handmade. These guys are little beads. Got the beads at Joann's. Just hung them on pins with a little earring backing. So those guys are fun. If you want to go even more basic, these guys are just pom-poms glued onto earring backings. Yeah, it took a lot of glue. They're a little prickly, but they're fun. And then actually these snowflakes were a project from a couple years ago. Some of you guys might remember. They are buttons with just a little earring backing glued to the back. And of course, you know, the earring backing stopper. So, don't have to spend a lot to get some great holiday bling. But definitely keep your eyes peeled while you're thrifting and, you know, find some fun pieces that you can enjoy. And if you guys get behind ugly sweaters, vintage sweaters, thrift store sweaters, give this video a thumbs up, will ya? And consider subscribing for more fun and crazy stuff from Partners in Craft. You never know what we're going to be up to around here. We have lots of holiday goodies coming your way. So I hope you stick around, visit us for some of those projects, and I will show you how I'm going to wear some of these things.
Lots of toys, all for the little ones' Christmas joys. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click,